Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, let's talk about the TREK Checkpoint SL5 gravel bike for the 2021 season. But before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and hit that little bell icon because it's gonna help in growing the channel. And of course, if you are already a subscriber, then definitely thank you. So, as I was saying, gravel bike from Big T, and this time is the TREK Checkpoint SL5. So, the retail price for this bike is $3,130. So, I mean, make no mistake, this is not a cheap bike, but the competition is on the same levels. So for example, if you look at some of my previous videos where I talked about gravel bikes from Canyon, Giant, Scott, all of them are hovering around $3,000 for this kind of specific level of equipment, so TREK is no exception here. When we look at the paint schemes of this bike, luckily you will have a choice of 3 paint schemes, and I have to say that TREK has really done an excellent job here. The first one is this factory orange paint scheme, orange with black and silver, absolutely beautiful paint scheme. Then you will also have this kind of dark olive with gold accent, beautiful, I would almost call it like military green. And then you will have this navy blue with the hints of red. This navy blue with red and yellow almost reminds me of the Spanish flag. But I'm so glad that TREK has offered 3 paint schemes on this bike, so you really have a choice, and this is kind of rare to see on the bike manufacturers on this level of the prices to offer 3 paint schemes. Personally, if I'm in the market, I would go for this beautiful factory orange paint scheme. I just think it looks absolutely stunning. So this is absolutely great from TREK. 3 paint schemes on offer for this TREK Checkpoint SL5. So I think we now need to answer the question, who is this bike for? So you see, the TREK Checkpoint platform is a dedicated platform for gravel bikes. So let's imagine you are spending, most of your time riding on the road, but from time to time you want to go bike packing, or maybe you just want to go a bit of off-road, but kind of an easier off-road, nothing too demanding. Then definitely you should check these gravel bikes and the TREK Checkpoint SL5. So now, let's dive in and let's see what do you really get for your hard-earned money. And as usual, we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is a carbon fiber 500 series OCLV carbon fiber frame from TREK. It comes with the internal cable routing, a press fit bottom bracket, also 12mm through axles front and the back, and this carbon fiber frame has a signature TREK ISO speed decoupler. So this ISO speed decoupler is basically a patented thing from TREK, where the seat tube of the bike can move independently of the top tube, so you have much more compliance. It's a great solution, and the TREK has really implemented this solution on their Domani range on this TREK Checkpoint, so it's a really great solution with the TREK ISO speed. Also, as I see here, since this is a dedicated carbon fiber frame for gravel riding, you will have a lot of rack and fender mounts. It is of course for the flat mount disc brakes, and also as I see here you will have a horizontal sliding dropouts at the back. Fork, again carbon fiber fork from TREK with the tapered carbon steerer. Also fender mounts on the fork, rack mounts on the fork. It is for the flat mount disc brakes and 12mm through axles. So together, frame and the fork, superb job from TREK. Of course, 500 OCLV carbon is not creme de la creme carbon fiber that TREK can do, but always keep in mind that this is, $3,100 bike, so perfectly fine. And also, forgot to mention that when it comes to carbon fiber frames and forks from TREK, you are getting a lifetime warranty, which is absolutely great. So when it comes to frame and fork, absolutely no complaints from me in this department. Now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike. So the wheel set is a Bontrager wheel set. Bontrager is an in-house brand of TREK. So this is an aluminium wheel set, aluminium rims from Bontrager. Also front hub Bontrager alloy hub with sealed bearings, 12mm through axle, of course, for the center lock disc brakes. The rear hub again with the sealed bearings, Bontrager hub. But this one is with the Shimano's 11-speed free hub body and 12mm through axles. When it comes to the rim, as I said, aluminium rim, classical Bontrager rim, 17mm inner width, and this wheel set is wrapped in the Bontrager's GR1 team issue tires. These are tubeless ready tires, so this is great. And I only think here that if you want to turn the whole wheel set into tubeless, I'm guessing you will have to get yourself new valves and the tape. I don't think it will be included in this. Tire is a 40C tire, absolutely great stuff, a lot of air volume, and this is what you want with a gravel road bike. Also keep in mind that if you are changing these tires in the future, maximum tire width you can use is going to be 45C tires. Okay, on certain frame sizes it will only be 40C tires, but these are only small frame sizes like 49 and 52 centimeters, which I think a bunch of you won't be using. So 45C tires as a max, which is absolutely great, and personally in the future when you destroy this tire, I would upgrade to the 45mm tires from, you know, whatever manufacturer you want. They don't mention here the total weight of the wheel set, but I would expect something closer to 1,900 grams, maybe even 2 kilograms. But it is what it is. I mean, it's a classical aluminium wheel set from Bontrager with their own hubs. Now let's talk about the drivetrain on this bike. So you see, the whole drivetrain is going to be a Shimano's mechanical group set, 11-speed group set. It is a Shimano GRX group set. GRX group set from Shimano is a dedicated group set for gravel riding. So shifters, front mech and the rear mech, it's all Shimano GRX. So starting from the shifters, you will get Shimano's GRX RX 600 shifters. Just keep in mind that this is not, you know, creme de la creme of the shifters. You can get an upper level, which is the RX 810, but of course on this level of the bike, RX 600 perfectly fine. Front mech on the bike is the Shimano's GRX RX 810, perfect. Rear mech is the, again, Shimano's RX 810. This is a long cage where you can fit the maximum cassette with the 34 tooth. So shifters, front mech and the rear mech, as I said, Shimano GRX mechanical group set, absolutely fine, no complaints here. Crankset on this bike is the Shimano's GRX RX 600 crankset. So this is the two chain rings at the front, 4630 chain rings. Again, I mean, perfectly fine GRX component from Shimano. Again, you know, it's not the creme de la creme that Shimano can do. They also have an upper range, which is the Shimano's RX 810 crankset, but this one with 4630 chain rings, perfectly fine. And this is paired with cassette, which is a Shimano 105 cassette, HG70 cassette, and this cassette is 1134. So now you see 1134 cassette paired at the front with the crankset 4630. I mean, absolutely great. You can easily attack any steep mountains off-road, and then you can easily go, you know, fast on the road. This is what I like when manufacturers include 1134 cassette on their gravel road bikes. Chain, again, Shimano 105 level, HG601 11-speed chain, again, perfectly fine, I have no complaints here. A little tip for the future, if when you destroy the chain and the cassette, since these are Shimano 105 level chain and the cassette, you can always upgrade to the Shimano Ultegra level chain and the cassette if you really want a little bit more quality components, but out of the box Shimano 105 perfectly fine. Now let's talk about some other small components. We'll kick off with the saddle and the seat post. So saddle, again, Bontrager's own production, Bontrager Montrose Comp, nothing special to add here. Saddles as a personal preference, if you got your own, you know, preferred saddle, please do keep it. Seat post here, it's Bontrager aluminum seat mast cap. So this is a bit kind of no-no for me. I don't understand why they didn't include a Bontrager carbon fiber seat mast cap, so this would be the first thing I would change in the future. But again, since this is a seat mast cap, you're gonna have to get yourself a carbon fiber product from, is it Bontrager or some other manufacturer, which makes this seat mast cap that's gonna fit on this TREK frame. So that's the only kind of negative thing as I see here. They should have just stick to the carbon fiber seat mast cap, because again it would contribute so much to the smoothness of your riding. So that's a bit negative stuff as I see here. Handlebar and the stem. Okay, so handlebar, again, classical Bontrager aluminium piece, Bontrager Elite aluminium pieces. Nothing special to add here, I'm perfectly fine with that. And stem is also Bontrager Elite aluminium piece. The good thing is that handlebar and the stem here are separate pieces, so you can easily adjust your position on the bike. And again, if you want to switch any of those parts, if you want to upgrade, if you even want to, you know, change it for some carbon fiber pieces, it's very easy since they are totally separate pieces. As you probably see now, I'm not a big fan of one-piece handlebar and the stem, so this is a perfect setup for this gravel road bike. Forgot to mention here the hydraulic disc brakes. So hydraulic disc brakes on this bike, you will get Shimano's GRX RX range. So this is RX 400 hydraulic disc brakes. Again, it's not, you know, creme de la creme, top of the line that Shimano can do with their GRX group set, but again, perfectly fine hydraulic disc brakes. Center lock discs, and these discs are Shimano RT70 center lock discs, 160mm front and back. Again, perfectly fine braking rotors. Just another tip for the future: once when you destroy these braking rotors, maybe you want to upgrade to the Shimano Ultegra level braking rotors, just because they are a bit more better in heat dissipation, specifically with the Shimano's Ice Freeza technology. And now the total bike weight is 9.72 kilograms for the size 56. In my case, I would need size 58, so I would expect this bike to be probably, you know, 9.8, 9.9 kilograms easily. So not the lightest of the bikes. Competition can do it a bit more lighter, specifically if you look at some of the offerings from Scott, Canyon and Giant. They can be probably 200 to 300 grams lighter than this, but again, this is a gravel bike, TREK Checkpoint, so the whole point is to be a robust and strong bike. You don't need the ultra light bike. Also, since I was speaking about bike packing with this bike, if you wanna, you know, carry certain amount of equipment, just keep in mind that the weight limit is 125 kilograms. That means a bike plus the rider, plus all the equipment you are carrying. So, in a summary, do I have any special complaints about this bike? Again, considering that this TREK Checkpoint SL5 has a retail price of $3,130 US. Well, I have to say that one thing here that bothers me is that, you know, TREK has included on this seat post an aluminium seat mast cap, and I think this should have been a carbon fiber seat mast cap, and this would immediately be the thing I want to change. But again, you might be a little bit limited in finding this specific carbon fiber seat mast cap that's gonna fit here. Of course, you can always look at Bontrager and buy one from them, but I don't know if other manufacturers would easily make this specific seat mast cap. So this is the biggest complaint here. Except from that, I can only give you a few little tips for the upgrades in the future. As I said, these braking rotors, once when you destroy them, easy to upgrade to the Shimano Ultegra level braking rotors, or Shimano RT800 as they call them. Also, once when you destroy this chain and the cassette, you might want to upgrade to the Shimano Ultegra level chain and the Shimano Ultegra level cassette if you want, but again, Shimano 105 as it is perfectly fine. Generally speaking, I think TREK has done a very good job with this bike. $3,130 US retail. It's on the same level like a bunch of other bike manufacturers, so nothing special in that department. And I believe that, you know, they will sell a lot of them, especially if you negotiate your price a little bit, get some extra equipment, drop in maybe a helmet, a t-shirt, gloves with your local TREK bike dealer. You can always get some good discounts. So I think this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're always notified when I make a new video. And as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Pura Vida!